Hi everyone, welcome to the Explained series. In this particular video, we take up Indian Express ka Explained section. We pick out the most important topic and we present it before you from examination point of view. We tell you discrete facts that are related to CLAT and ALET examination. And moving forward, I, Harshvardhan Tripathi, have picked up one very interesting topic, that is the Bluebird Block 2 mission of ISRO. Now, why this topic is significant? So, first of all, let us try to understand and write down the basic details about this particular mission. From factual point of view, it is generally seen that what, when, where, who. These four questions are usually important for CLAT examination. In this particular mission, you will find that the launch site is an important question. So that is Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. And this is the site from where most of the launches, all of the launches of ISRO takes place. Okay, take place. Launch vehicle is LVM3. Now this is a very important MCQ. Why this particular MCQ holds significance here? Because ISRO has a lot of launch vehicles and we're going to discuss some of them today. LVM3 launch vehicle Mark 3. Payload was Bluebird Block 2 satellite. The mass was around 6,100 kilogram, which is the heaviest payload ever launched by ISRO. The target orbit is not too far. It's at low Earth orbit of 520-kilometer height altitude, and this is the largest ever commercial communication satellite deployed in low Earth orbit by ISRO. So this fact is very important. So you should write this down in your copy. So fact number 1, fact number 2, fact number 3. Next, these are some of the rockets, or you can say launch vehicles of ISRO, starting from SLV-3. Okay, so India had this integrated missile development program being taken forward by APJ Abdul Kalam, and he's the same person. He is the man behind ISRO's launch vehicle as well, and all of that had taken momentum. See, ISRO was formalized in 1962. Okay, it was the initiative of Jawaharlal Nehru and Vikram Sarabhai. And 20 years down the line, during 1980s, India decided that it should have a launch vehicle capability. For that, you were required to know how rockets work. And technically, both these developments on the military side, on the space side, happened at the you can say initiation of or under the guidance of the missile man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and to an extent Vikram Sarabhai as well. And these are the launch vehicles over a period of time. We have now come to LVM3, and this, the last one that you see, SSLV, is the latest addition. So we are going to deal with all of these. Well, CLAT, uh, to a very say factual extent, will ask you what is a full form. Okay, so in GSLV, let us say is there, it will confuse you whether it is geostationary satellite launch vehicle, or whether it is geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, or it is ground satellite launch vehicle, or gravity satellite launch vehicle, or any other option can be created like that. They can also ask you which satellite launch vehicle is known as the workhorse of ISRO. Which of them is known as the naughty boy? And what was PSLV C60 mission about? C61 mission about? C59 mission about? They can also ask you SpaceX was launched in which PSLV mission? What is the full form of PSLV for that matter? So these topics are important. We will not go down into studying the technicalities of these launch vehicles. Now, what do I mean by that? Technicality means what is the engine name in these launch vehicles? Second, what are the stages in these launch vehicles? 3 stage, 4 stage rocket launch vehicle, what it is that? फर्स्ट स्टेज पे क्रायोजेनिक है, सॉलिड है, लिक्विड है, ये डिटेल पे हमें नहीं जाना चाहिए. एक विकास इंजन हमेशा न्यूज में आता है, जो कि इसरो का अपना बनाया हुआ इंजन है. तो विकास इंजन इसरो से रिलेटेड है, ये फैक्ट आप याद रख सकते हैं. Moving forward, this particular satellite is designed by AST Space Mobile, United States of America. Very important fact. It's a part of low Earth orbit global constellation, which is for direct to mobile connectivity. They communicates directly with standard mobile phones. You don't need a ground station for that. You don't need special satellite phones for that. So this is a satellite which is directly connected to your mobile phone, which will help in enabling the 4G and the 5G services. So it is connectivity for everyone, everywhere at all times. Most of the times you might have seen that while you are traveling in railway, Indian Railway, and you are going across the outskirts of a city or through a rural area, usually mobile connectivity is poor. 5G becomes 4G. That happens because there are no ground towers or ground relay stations in those regions. It can be because mobile penetration, internet usage is very, very low, requirement is very, very low, the demand is low, so the supply is low. But these satellite network that is there at an altitude of 400 to 500 kilometers around Earth, where can enable a 24 by 7 all weather everywhere connectivity. This is where this Bluebird Block 2 satellite will play a major role. Now, this is the third commercial LVM3 mission. That is why it also becomes an important fact for us. Earlier, LVM3, the biggest launch vehicle of ISRO, was used to establish OneWeb satellites, and there were around 72. So 36, two batches were launched. OneWeb 1 and OneWeb 2. That is how these missions are called. Okay, 2022 and 2023. So please understand, not the third launch of LVM3. No, that's not true. LVM3 has been used earlier for Chandrayaan as well. LVM3 can be potentially used for Gaganyaan as well. But LVM3 का commercial launch कह रहा है. What do I mean by commercial launch? Which means some private companies satellites were established in the orbit using ISRO's launch vehicle. Okay, so India emerged as a launch partner. Why? Because Russia is refusing to launch any Western countries' key satellites. European Space Agency's Ariane 5 is going out of service. It is one of the world's largest launch vehicles, and it is going out of service. What is the strategic importance of this particular Bluebird Block 2 mission and for LVM3? So it demonstrates the heavy lift capability of ISRO, 6,100 kilograms. You also will be seen now as an alternative to the Falcon 9 rocket, SpaceX, and Ariane 6, which is of European Space Agency under development. Now, this is also an important milestone for ISRO because this LVM3 was used at a very narrow gap. So on November 2nd, 2025, we saw in news the launch of GSAT 7R, okay, GSAT 7R, okay, and which was also known as CMS-03, LVM3, and now you have the Bluebird launch. Now it is 2 LVM launches in a single year. This also becomes an important significant fact. Now related to CMS-03 mission, this is an important topic lately of November, can be important for CLAT 2027 as a related fact. Now you will find here that IRNSS, that is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, is a constellation of satellite, big satellites that you are using for navigation. It's a constellation of around 7 satellites in geostationary Earth orbit and geosynchronous orbit inclined at 29 degrees to equator. So these are not satellites at fixed positions, but they are distributed so that over India they can be present at all times. Constellation of 7 satellites. Now that particular question has been asked in related to NavIC. Okay, NavIC is IRNSS only, and thereby they had asked what is the range of NavIC, and that is 1500 kilometers. All of these type of infographics are usually there in newspapers, so we can read about it. As you can see, this particular question has been asked in CLAT, and that is why I am indicating that to you. Moving forward, LVM3 evolution and engine optimization efforts. Now, these are the areas where ISRO has taken, you can say, uh, it is the achievement of ISRO that we can figure out कि LVM3 को डेवलप करना चाह रहे हैं. तो सवाल मन में आता है कि क्यों डेवलप करना चाह रहे हैं. देखिए, आप किसी भी तरीके से नासा पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं होना चाहते. आप किसी भी तरीके से अमेरिकन कॉमर्शियल स्पेस कंपनीज जैसे स्पेस एक्स पे आप डिपेंड नहीं होना चाहते. आपको चाइना की और रशिया की कैपेबिलिटी के बारे में पता है. इस स्पेस रेस में आपको भी एक कहते हैं ना बराबरी का दर्जा चाहिए, और इंडिया को वैसे भी जाना जाता है कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव स्पेस मिशंस या स्पेस लॉन्चेस के लिए. तो LVM3 में पोटेंशियली जो इंजन यूज कर रहे हैं, तो क्रायोजेनिक इंजन यूज कर रहे हैं, उसको इंडिजिनस करने की बात है, उसको खुद से डेवलप करने की बात है. ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम उस इंजन का, बिकॉज ये क्रायोजेनिक स्टेज इंजन जो होता है ये थर्ड लेवल पे होता है, आपको कुछ इस तरीके के फ्यूल्स यूज करने की जरूरत है जिससे आप 80,000 किलोग्राम तक की लिफ्ट कैपेबिलिटी बना पाए. व्हाई डू यू नीड दैट? क्योंकि आपका फ्यूचर में लूनर मिशन भी प्लान में है. ठीक है, चंद्रयान 1, 2, 3 के बाद अब चंद्रयान 4 और चंद्रयान 5 में आप जब हिस्सेदारी लेंगे, भागीदारी लेंगे, तो ये मैन्ड मिशन होने वाले हैं. मैन्ड मिशन के साथ साथ बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स, डिवाइसेस आपको चाहिए रहते हैं, राइट? तो वो भी आपको लिफ्ट ऑफ करने पड़ेंगे. फ्यूचर में इंडिया ने आर्टेमिस, ARTEMIS, आर्टेमिस मिशन ऑफ नासा के साथ भी पार्टनरशिप करी है, जिसमें आर्टेमिस के 1, 2, 3 तीन स्टेजेस है. पहला स्टेज ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट हो चुका है, जिसको लूनर फ्लाई बाय बोला जा रहा है. मून के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगा के वापस आना है. इसके बाद स्टेज 2 आएगा, जहां पे लूनर एक यू कैन से स्पेस स्टेशन स्टैब्लिश किया जाएगा, जिसको लूनर गेटवे बोला जा रहा है. और आर्टेमिस पार्ट 3 में मून को बेस बना के स्पेस एक्सप्लोरेशन की तरफ ह्यूमन स्पीशीज बढ़ेगी. इसमें नासा के साथ साथ दुनिया की सभी बड़ी स्पेस एजेंसीज ने पार्टनरशिप शो करी है या इंक्लिनेशन शो किया है फ्यूचर कोलैबोरेशन का, barring Russia and China. At this juncture, ISRO has to demonstrate its capabilities and grow its capability to indicate it to other space agencies that it can be an equal partner in Artemis mission. And thereby, ISRO has also indicated that, in the fourth stage of PSLV, recently ISRO has demonstrated the CROPS experiment. How in microgravity conditions seed can be germinated. So a lot of experiment things are going on, and launch vehicle capability is the basics of it. Okay, it's like the base जिसपे आप आपका space exploration build करते हो. So this cryogenic upper stage enhancement currently uses C25 stage, has 28,000 kg propellant, 20-ton thrust. After certain time, we will have C32 stage, which will have 4,000 extra kilogram propellant and a 2-ton added thrust, totals 22-ton thrust. This semi-cryogenic second stage will use refined kerosene and liquid oxygen, which is potentially cheaper in comparison to other propellants. From 8,000 kg to 10,000 kg, that is what ISRO is trying or planning to achieve. We also have our bootstrap reignition technology, which enables multiple engine restarts, removes need for external helium, reduces fuel weight, increases payload efficiency, and thereby Gaganyaan and Bharatiya Antariksh Station modules will be supported by such enhancements in LVM3 cryogenic engine. Okay, moving forward, we need to understand some basic facts about ISRO's launch vehicle's history. And for that extent, you will find SLV3 to be there in 1980, first experimental launch vehicle that established Rohini satellite into near Earth orbit. PSLV is what is a third generation launch vehicle, started in 1982, first successful launch in 1994. Payload capacity is very less, 1000 kg, and that too to low Earth orbit, less than 2000 kilometers. It is fundamentally known as workhorse of ISRO for its vast launches, vast number of launches. ISRO usually uses PSLV, and that is why Earth observation satellites and navigation and scientific missions are launched using PSLV. Earlier achievements of PSLV include SpaceX, right? Chandrayaan 1 2008 and Mangalyaan 2013. Now that is where the trick question comes into picture. Okay, first Chandrayaan mission was not launched using GSLV Mark III or LVM3. It was rather used using PSLV. 2008. In 2013, the Mangalyaan or Mars Orbiter mission (MOM) also used PSLV. Now, this is fundamentally the information given in on ISRO's website that I have attached here. You can download the PDF, you can get access to this particular PDF and prepare your notes around it. Also, this was the space quiz available on All India Radio, which was asking the full form of PSLV. And so, this basic question is relevant for CLAT. And there was this also news that ISRO's EOS-9 mission, that was PSLV's mission, failed last year, and sorry, January in 2025. So every attribute around it. Now this is the recent development. So you will find we don't want always big rockets to do small or menial tasks. PSLV happens to be a very big rocket for small commercial launches. It is very economically not reasonable or feasible, okay, to use PSLV, and that is why ISRO has come up with a smaller rocket, that is SSLV, and this is small satellite launch vehicle, 3-stage solid propulsion stages, and for used for small satellites, 10 to 500 kilogram to 500 kilometer planar orbit. Very simple task. So it enables fast launch readiness, cost effective small satellite missions, SSLV. We also have a fourth generation launch vehicle, that is GSLV. So remember, PSLV was third generation. We have fourth generation launch vehicle, GSLV. The full form is Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. It's a 3-stage vehicle with solid rocket motor and liquid strap-ons, and at the third stage, cryogenic upper stage. Now, what exactly is cryogenic? Cryogenic means minus 200 degrees centigrade. Cryogenic means such temperatures, इतने कम टेम्परेचर जो एटमॉस्फेयर में होते हैं कि वहां पे कोई भी नॉर्मल मशीनरी का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इक्विपमेंट का काम करना इजी नहीं होता है, राइट? तो क्रायोजेनिक अपर स्टेज इंजन में आपको ऐसा फ्यूल चाहिए जो बर्न करे या यूज हो सके उस टाइम पे, प्रोपेलेंट की तरह काम करे। तो ये काम इंडिया कर रहा है इसमें। पेलोड कैपेसिटी 1750 किलोग्राम, हायर रीच इन GTO देन PSLV, डेवलप्ड टू ओवरकम PSLV's डीप स्पेस लिमिटेशंस। तो थोड़ा सा एडवांस्ड है, PSLV से ज्यादा थ्रस्ट है इसके अंदर। Now we have LVM3 GSLV Mark III. It is also called as the Baahubali of ISRO. Now GSLV is called as the naughty boy of ISRO because it has failed multiple times, right? फट जाता है ये रॉकेट आगे जाके। तो बाहुबली जो है ये भी 3 स्टेजेस का है, सॉलिड लिक्विड क्रायोजेनिक, 8000 किलोग्राम टू लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट, 4000 kilogram to geosynchronous transfer orbit, that is at a height of 36,000 kilometers. Now this particular orbit is usually used for Earth observation satellites, for weather forecasting satellites, and this geosynchronous transfer orbit is usually used for communication or navigation satellites, for broadcasting, for TV, radio, so on and so forth. Okay, major missions of this has been GSAT 2019, 2017, Chandrayaan 2, 2019, Chandrayaan 3, 2023. So the following missions of Chandrayaan used LVM3. It is also significant, or you can say called as the backbone for Gaganyaan space station modules, that is Bharatiya Antariksh Space Station, and heavy commercial launches. As you can see, this is the design of this particular launch vehicle, where at the initial stage you have this L110 stage, then there is S200 stage, the second stage, and then you have the C25 stage that we were talking about will change into C32. Okay. So this is the three stage of GSLV MK3. Now these questions are not important, though facts, knowing about these facts seems very, very amusing. And closing this particular session with some extra miles, extra facts on Bluebird Block 2 mission. Most of the missions, most of the facts we have already covered. All right. Now, strategic importance to an extent indicates of ISRO that we are ready for heavy commercial launch vehicles, heavy commercial launches, and we are also very effective. We can help other countries and companies to have their low Earth orbit constellations. We can help telecom companies to launch their own satellites and build their own network. And you see, Elon Musk is having his own network of satellites. He also has his own launch vehicle. So everything is in-house. Elon Musk needs no support even of NASA at times. And thereby ISRO, because Elon Musk will not do that for his rival companies, will not allow his Falcon 9 rockets or his other rockets to be used by his rival companies who are into networking, who are into telecommunication, and thereby ISRO can be a very, very cost-effective alternative. We have done that for OneWeb, UK-based company. We have done that for Bluebird, that is ATS Space Mobile of United States of America. So why not other companies? Why not Germany? Why not France? So India will attract a lot of, you can say, uh, dollars by providing a launch vehicle and a launch pad station. So moving forward, keep a tab on ISRO's launch vehicles, ISRO's missions, because they are a significant fact. From Science and Tech in CLAT and ALET section, this was Harshvardhan Tripathi from the first episode of Indian Express Explained series. Do not forget to watch this series every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. All the very best. Keep hustling hard.